For weeks, the Occupy Wall Street movement has been holding demonstrations in a park near the financial district in New York. Other independent grassroots movements in support of Occupy Wall Street have sprung up across the nation, including one in Kansas City. These protesters, who call themselves Occupy KC, have been camped outside the Federal Reserve Building for over 2 weeks, calling for reform and change in corporate involvement in politics, as well as many other issues. I'm Andrew Beasley here with Tyler Crane from Kansas City, Missouri. Tyler, could you just tell us a little bit about why you all are out here?
We're standing in solidarity with the Occupy Wall Street movement that is now a global movement of a human rights collective of people coming together to solve immense amount of issues.
What are a few of the issues that you all are out here for?
I think a big common one is a lot of people are tired of the way corporations are able to influence political policy and regulation in America based on profit and donations to campaigns.
Is there any particular reason you chose here at the Liberty Memorial, the Federal Reserve?
We have a nice icon behind us that's sort of a one-of-a-kind sort of experience to have. We have the Federal Reserve banking system here, and then down the way we have Liberty Memorial, which kind of embodies sort of American patriotism and sacrifice. So it's a nice little triangulation of significance and symbolism.
Could you talk a little bit about what organizations are out here, who's being represented?
First off, occupation movements globally is a leaderless, non-ideological, non-partisan movement. So therefore, we don't endorse Democrats or Republicans or Tea Party or any of that. What we do encourage and endorse is community organizations.
I'm here with Kai Smith. Kai, could you tell us just a little bit about why you personally are out here?
Well, I worked as a social worker in Kansas for several years. I'm concerned about the way that corporations have more or less bought their way into our government. There's this very symbiotic relationship going on there, but what are the common people getting out of it? What I've seen in the last several years of my work as a social worker is that people are falling on harder and harder times, and certainly after the collapse in 2008, things have gotten really worse for people like myself. You know, I'm middle class and white, and so I have loads of privilege behind me, but that doesn't mean that I didn't have to spend days in my car this winter just because I was in between work, and it's hard to make ends meet.
Could you talk a little bit just about the slogan, we are the 99%? I'd just like to hear a bit about that.
What that addresses is that 1% of the people in the United States control about 40% of the wealth. And that 1% actually determines a lot in terms of what happens politically. And we kind of feel like it's time for the rest of us, the 99%, that lower 60%, of the income earners in this country, to take our voices back.
For SMEHarbinger.net, this is Andrew Beasley. Could you talk a little bit about why you're here in this area?
I certainly there's the symbolism of being in front of the Federal Reserve, which a lot of people blame for the banking mishaps of the last probably century. I think also because it's a beautiful park, and for me, being at Memorial Park, being near the Liberty Memorial, to me, this is a park that's dedicated to peace, really.
Could you talk a little bit just about the slogan, we are the 99%? I'd just like to hear a bit about that.
What that addresses is that 1% of the people in the United States control about 40% of the wealth. And that 1% actually determines a lot in terms of what happens politically. And we kind of feel like it's time for the rest of us, the 99%, that lower 60%. Of the income earners in this country to take our voices back.